Now we'll try to do the tic-tac-toe section, right? We look at this code. Dot cd might ex week 4, right? Cd tic-tac. We haven't installed the package yet, so we npm I. Okay, so installed. Now we run the app. Okay, the app started. Next, we run this emulator. Sorry, it's wrong. Okay, start emulator. Okay, so this is what we have left in the last week, right? So we have created rules. This works, right? Now we are going to add new functions for this game. Let's just have quickly to have a look what new function expect for this game, right? For this game, what we want is we want to have the 3 buttons here, and to use this one to have a new game. And most importantly, when we click on this cell, they're going to be able to play moves automatically. And also they have a back, previous, and the next show the movement, right? So if we move here, we can draw this to move back, previous move, and if in the middle, we are able to move forward or backward, right? So that's the major functions required for this week's implementation. Okay, so the most important issues for application, the first one is of course the user interface, and then we need to look at the data structure. So what is the data used to manage the display, right? We come to look at the screens. In the screens we have home, and home they only have this as a data, right? They have this as a data. And use this data to show this hard code, so it not be able to control. So the first part is we need to change the data structure, right? We need to change the data structure. Here is, let's see, right, I just copy the data structure here directly. See what the new data structure we expect to have. Okay, so here is the new data structure we expect to have. The first one is the board. So the board is just like the play, right? That shows them as it's an array of 1 times 9 cells to show what they are. They could be empty, could be O, or could be X, right? So that's is the board. And the second one is the steps, because when we move this game, we can move forward and backward, therefore we keep the steps. So the step is also an array, right? The initially is empty array, and then it put where we move. If the first move is in the middle, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, then the first should be 5, right? If next move we want to move here, so the next move is 0. Okay, so the structure is like this. So that is a step. And then we have this one is last position, last move, right? The reason we have this setting is because we want to have a forward and backward. So even though I have played 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, I can roll back to previous one. So maybe remove the last move, come back to the previous one. So the last P is something we are able to move backward and forward. But of course, this last peak cannot be longer than the size, than the length of the step, right? So the normal play, the last peak should be the number of steps, right? But we can move backwards, so we keep this one. So if we have that move, we need to put this board into here, right? Put this board into here. We look what is the board. Okay, so we put this place as board. Right, so put the board. Use state. Right, we need to import your state. Okay, now it's become empty, right? That's become empty. Good. So the next part, we want to make sure that we are able to play on this board, right? If we click here, we are able to play on this board. But at this stage, it's not happened, right? So we need to have a function to unprice, right? On this board, we are able to have a function, right? Okay. Okay. Play, that is a function. This function, we need to have a play position, right? Because we need to say where we play. We probably use index play position equals something, right? Okay, play something, right? And we want this to be passed to on the board, so we can get price equals play. Okay, so we have price equals play. If we press here, we're going to call that part, right? Let's just say price. The board, is it pressable? Let's see if the board is pressable or not. Let's just see. Okay, try. Okay, now we have the play here on price, but when we look here, we see it seems that on price function actually is here, but it's not captured yet, right? So we need to find some way how to capture this function. Now we look into the board component, Okay, the current board component only have play, right? The plays show the movement, and then we have the unprice. Okay, so unprice is also passing about from the above, right? Okay, so we can have the this cell. We are able to pass in this cell to. Let me look at the cell, individual cells. The individual cells in here is just like the normal cell, right? I probably try to override the cell with a more advanced new version. Okay. Okay, Now the previous version is very simple, only have a cell, have text, play, right? So they show the text. Now we override this with the new cells. Okay, replace with a new one. The new one, they pass in a function from the parent called onPrice, right? And also we make this cell is pressable, right? We make this cell is pressable. The previously is only a view, not expressible. And also the style, we have the priced situation here, right? onPrice. So look this part. onPrice, if they already have play, right? And then it's now. That means if it's already played, when we press again, it's nothing happened. Otherwise, we're going to call the onPrice back, right? Going to call the onPrice back. This, see, this time it works, right? This time it works because for this cell, if we click here, it changed the color, right? Changed the color, but nothing really happens because the onPrice we pass in from the parent one, but we look at the parent doesn't really pass in the onPrice to the cell part yet. So we can come here, we can say onPrice equals onPrice, right? So that's from the parent, click here, okay, priced, right? Priced. Okay, so that's good. Now what we want to do is, because we want this, if you pressed on here, even you press this part, okay, this only on this section is callback, this onPrice, right? But what I want is, I want to press on different cells. They're going to call different function, right? So we do not just use, because it's one function, but we're not able to distinguish which cells have been created, right? So we create a new function. Okay. And also we need to pass the index. We need to pass the index to here. Yes, right. Okay. So for each of this cell, right, we have the index, and then we generate price function, right? Generate this price function. We have the index. Okay. So this time, this generate function with index is create another function, the onPrice, but the onPrice also take a parameter, right? So onPrice also take a parameter. But we look at our original onPrice function, which is defined in the home. The onPrice, they have index, right? You can put the indexes. See. All right, so this time we click again. Index 0, index 1, index 2, right? So this time you click each different cell, they're going to pass in this logic back, right? Therefore, you know which one has been priced. Now we look at this again. And here we pass in the function from the board, and this one is a generation function to create new functions for each of the individual cells. So each cell, they have a new function, and the new function take a parameter of that, right? So once you click that cell, they pass in this back. Okay, so that is. Now we look at this home section, this play. So this could be the major function, right? Now we look at this. Sorry, I just answered the phone. Now we look at this play function, right? We look at what's the play function. Okay. The play function going to call two separate functions. So one is the new step, because we have the steps here, right? Play move this index, the current steps, and also the last point, right? Based on this information, we create new steps, and then we set steps here, right? And also last P is the new steps, this length, the last P right here, and the new board, build board, new step dot length, right? The length and the steps build this board. We create the board. So we have two important functions. One function is play move. Another function is build board, right? So these two functions relate to the gameplay, right? And then we're probably going to create okay, so we create a folder here under the source. We create a folder, game logic. Right, in the game logic, we create a file called game. So this is purely function related to the data, not related to the view, right? And in the game.js, there are only two functions at this moment. One is play move, right? So play move, we have index, so that means where we're going to play. And the steps, there's the array of the current steps and the last P. Okay, so because the new move could maybe not the last position, right? So we can move backward and then put a new move, right? So that is, we have new steps, we create steps slash last P, right? So that means we only retrieve the first part of this existing movement, come to the last point, and then we add the new index here, right? We use slash because this create a new array. Push here, we return this, right? So this play move. The next part is we build the board. Based on the steps and last P, we build the board. So the board is array of 9 and filled with this one, and we use the for loop, right? I here. So the character depends on the I. If it's 0, that means the first move is X, right? So if this 0, that means not here. So the first move is X, and the even move is X, and odd move is O, right? So just alternatively, and also we put this step I, so the position of this board to this character, right? So this move here. After that, we need to import. Sorry, come to the screen to the home. Import these two functions. Import play, move, and build board from Okay, now you can click, right? We are able to play, right? Next, okay, right? We are able to play. And if we play on the one that already played, nothing happened. The reason is if you come to the component of sale, okay, if on price, if this already played, nothing happened. Otherwise, they call it on price, right? So that, okay, all right. So that is a way to come to the gameplay. Now, what we want to implement is to have a new game function, move backward, move forward, right? Before that, we're going to look at the requirements, because see the requirement, the button has a new state, grid disabled, right? So in this become blue, that is enabled, right? So that means that we need to update our button design to make the button has this state enabled and disabled, right? Now we look at our current button. The current button only priced here, right? It doesn't have the enable or disable. So what we need to do is we need to update this button. Okay, look at that. Okay, here is a new button, right? The new button compared with the old button, the difference is we have the enable equals true, right? So the default situation is true, right? The with here, the function still the same, label is same, right? Okay, so we have update this. Look, right? So you see, it's still not affects the original design. The reason is for all of them, we use the default value. If the call this function without provide them, we just call this default value. Now look at this enabled. First, they look at style. Style, if enabled, they come to the normal one. If otherwise, containers and background color is gray, right? So that means if enabled false, that become gray. Now we look at our board one. We have this button, right? If we have this enable equals, if we put the enable as false, see, this is not enabled, right? You can use this is not enabled. Okay, so that is one enhancement for here, right? This enhancements for here. Okay, another one is about the width of the button. By default is 90. We can have the 120. Right, you can see this button become larger. Right, we can control the size of the button. Okay, so that's the two improvement of that part. Now we need to add this section. Right, we need to add this section. Probably let's copy this. Okay, the original one we have the title, and this part we have board, right? Now we need to insert something in between. We insert, this one is button panel, right? Do we have button panel? Yes, we have button panel. And on here we have buttons, right? Okay, the width is 30, smaller, and move backward, right? go previous one, this function, and this button is go forward. So this is a new game. Okay, we look at go previous. Okay, this function doesn't exist. We probably just next. A new game, right? Now we have the three buttons here. All of them are disabled, and we can play here, right? Once we play, we have this work, right? But this is still not enabled. Look at the reason why the first part is enabled, right? Look here, the enabled steps dot length larger than 1, right? So that means if we only have a new part, the steps length is 0, right? Therefore, this is not enabled. It's only when we place one and they are able to enable, right? The same as for the, okay, that's for, yes, last, oh, sorry, I'm wrong. For this go previous enables last p larger than 1, right? Okay, and then we are able to put this, but can't click this one, it's not work, right? So we need to add the implementation. So what would be the implementation in this? The implementation would be because the last P will be removed, right? Okay. Set board, build board. Okay, so we need to set last P previous one minus 1, right? So the last P decreased by 1. And also we need to set new board, build board, steps. Let me check. Should be, I think should be steps and last P minus 1, right? Okay, let me check if this is correct. Right, and set board, new board. Okay, so the step is not changed because the step we don't play any new moves, so step is still the same, but just change the last P. Right. Okay, so this disappear, right? This disappear. Please remove 1, remove 2, and this doesn't work yet, right? Remove last. Okay, this works. And we need to go next. We need to have new board. New board equals build board steps last P plus 1, and set new board and set last P plus 1. Okay, so this time we check. Okay, right? So you can see this tool works well, right? Works well. Come here, if we change the new implementation, go back, right? The new move overrides the previous move. Okay, now it's only the new game we need to implement, right? The new game is relatively easy. We just set board, let me see, set board array 9 dot fill empty, right? Set last p 0, set steps empty, right? So this just get back to the default, right? Okay, I think play here, clear, right? Clear here, and we can move forward, backward, right? So all the functions achieved in this week's. Okay, thank you for watching, and I'm going to share the solution online, and so you can check the details about how to implement that, right? Okay, thank you.